Time for Footitis. Sponsored by BoatBuys.ca. 10,000 boats online.
Doral International has been building boats for almost 40 years now, and one class they've seemed to perfect is the sport boat in the mid-20 range. So this week on Footitis, we're going to take a look at a 2001 Doral 230, a big-time bow rider that's big-time fun. Larger bow riders make perfect transition boats for those who want to move up from a small bow rider but aren't ready to give up the sportiness. And while Doral also made the 230 in a cuddy cabin, the 230 bow rider has many of the same amenities. Stepping aboard the molded swim platform, there's plenty of room to move about for swimming or water sports, and directly forward you find the mini engine hatch that reveals the Mercruiser 5.7-liter EFI. And before you start thinking that's not a lot of access, rest assured there's more forward. While moving forward into the cockpit may be a little awkward over the seats, the impressive U-shaped configuration and storage below makes up for it. Under the port side, there's plenty of room in the carpet-lined storage that's a great place for your guests' extra gear or coolers. And the center seat lifts right up to give you more access to the engine systems and batteries. Under the starboard side, there's similar storage to the port that's a great place to store the canvas. Continuing with the storage theme, there's a large drained in-floor locker as well that is big enough for water skis and has convenient clips for your cover support bars. You know what Doral does so successfully in this sport boat is they make great use of space from tip to tail and the full beam. There's two distinct living areas and even a full-size pump head. Directly across, forward of the helm, is a similar large storage compartment. One of the ways Doral makes great use of extra space. Sitting at 23 feet in length, the bow on the 230 really is its own living area that has storage underneath each of the seats, but also has its own table that can also be converted into a sun pad. The same is in the aft with comfortable molded seats on the U-shaped lounge that has a large table for meals or snacks, and that can also be converted into an extra large sunbed for catching some rays. The bucket seats are quite stylish, and the white with blue trim matches the rest of the boat tastefully, and the co-pilot can play DJ on the CD player or bartender with the sink, and there's a small storage compartment for wallets and operator cards. The same comfort is made available to the captain on the swiveling and sliding seats that has gotten a little sticky over the years, but is still functional. Sitting at the helm, it's hard not to get taken in by the wood-accented wheel and faux wood dash that really says this is a big-time bow rider. The stainless beveled gauges are smartly organized with speed and tack front and center, with the others settled below and the switches out of the way to the left-hand side. On the water test, the 5.7-liter EFI and Bravo 3 drive had no problem getting the 230 out of the water and to 20 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. And I'd really say this was a boat of contrasts. Cruising along at a steady 30 miles per hour, it felt like a much larger boat that would be stable with lots of people in it. Then, heading into turns, it changed into the sport boat and handled like a much smaller boat. The turning radius was sharp and agile, which honestly surprised me in a good way. It's also worth commenting on how nicely the 230 heads through the water. The blue and white complement each other beautifully, and the 230 is a great example of the classic Doral lines and styling they put into every boat of every size. While the 5.7-liter EFI may be a thirsty engine for some, it really provides the sport in this sport boat. It's comfortable and quiet, cruising at around 20 to 30 miles per hour, and at wide open throttle I recorded a top speed of 46 miles per hour on the GPS. You know, I said in the beginning that this Doral 230 bow rider is big time fun, and it really is. There's lots of amenities for all your guests. With the 5.7 EFI Merc in it too, plenty of power. I guess now all I need to do is go find some friends. So that's where we're going.